Right now at 6, Mayo Clinic Health System opens a new sports medicine facility in Eau Claire.
And La Crosse County preps for severe weather by joining a prestigious National Weather Service program.
We're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. We are currently standing by for coverage of President Joe Biden's press conference. Please be aware that we may go to that at any time. But while we have you, here's the latest in La Crosse.
That's right. 2 men are accused of sexually assaulting 3 young children in Altoona 20 years ago. 41-year-old Christopher and 39-year-old Daniel Rodriguez stood in Eau Claire County Court today. Now, according to the criminal complaint, several women accused Christopher of sexually assaulting them multiple times when they were between the ages of 3 and 6. The assaults allegedly occurred in an Altoona foster and daycare home in the early 2000s. A third victim said both Christopher and Daniel sexually assaulted him for years, starting at the age of 7. Christopher Rodriguez faces 3 felony counts of repeated sexual assault of the same child. He's out on a $250,000 signature bond. Meanwhile, Daniel faces 1 felony count and is out on a $75,000 signature bond. Their preliminary hearings are set for August 27th.
An elderly man is dead following a UTV accident last night. Around 6:30 p.m., emergency responders rushed to a property on Francis Lane in the town of Ettrick. They found a man pinned underneath an overturned UTV in a field. He was unresponsive and pronounced dead at the scene. The Trumpeau County Sheriff's Office says the victim was driving through the field when the accident occurred. Authorities will release the victim's name once his family is notified.
Well, weather-wise, looking at today and yesterday, it was kind of a case of second verse, same as the first, Greg. Another hot one.
It's pretty much where we should be, like I said, 85, 86 degrees here for La Crosse and similar for Eau Claire. So really, we're seeing typical July pattern. We're going to see another typical July pattern that we see heat and humidity for a little bit coming up this weekend. But outside right now, we're still looking at about the 80s. You can see some of the buildups there looking east from La Crosse in the distance there. We saw there's still a few out there, but overall not too much. The good news with all the river levels, they are falling. We're in action. We'll be in action for most of them here coming up fairly quickly. It is dropping quite quickly. Although there's a few showers out there, in particular just southeast of Oaks Field. There's one that's actually creating quite a bit of downpour along the interstate right there, kind of hugging that area. You can see off to the east too, the one on the camera there, just southwest of Tomas too. So we got a little bit, like you probably count 4 out there that we might see, but they should dissipate this evening. We're not going to see much other activity, but overall should remain dry for most locations unless you're under one of these. We'll get down to the low 70s early on, and then for Eau Claire, we'll see similar type of conditions, less activity, less clouds up there, 71. Still very comfortable, although you want to take a focus on the bonfire situation right now. If you got to go outside stuff right now, it's good for today and tonight. Temperature-wise, that will change come this weekend where that humidity level comes up, minus mosquitoes too, of course.
I was going to say those mosquitoes are.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother thing.
Pretty high. That's a whole other thing. Okay.
Thank you, Greg.
Well, 500 Americans die from extreme weather and flooding every year. That's according to the National Weather Service. Now, La Crosse County has joined a prestigious program to better prepare for severe weather.
And our own Allison Fergit has the details on that program.
La Crosse County is now officially recognized as storm ready. Community leaders say the certification will help keep residents safe. With summers full of heavy rainfall and flooding, and winters with blizzard-like conditions, La Crosse residents are no stranger to extreme weather. That's why the county strived to become a storm-ready community, a community the National Weather Service recognizes as better prepared to save lives from severe weather. The criteria to become storm-ready includes developing a formal hazardous weather plan, promoting public readiness through community seminars, and having multiple ways to receive weather warnings and alert the public.
We stress that not only with the Storm Ready program, but even for just residents individually, it's so important to have multiple ways in case some method should fail.
The program also requires a system that monitors weather conditions locally. La Crosse's emergency management aims to stay in constant communication with the National Weather Service during weather events. They encourage residents to also report signs of storms, because storm readiness is a community effort. Reporting in La Crosse, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
Thank you, Allison. La Crosse is the 19th of Wisconsin's 72 counties to be recognized as storm ready. Storm ready recognition is valid for 4 years and can be renewed.
Well, a group of mayors are meeting today to address the flooding along the Mississippi River and how it's affected the areas around it. The leaders at today's meeting all belong to the Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative, which La Crosse Mayor Mitch Reynolds is a co-chair. That group represents 105 communities in 10 states along the Mississippi. One official has pointed out that heavy rains have brought some much-needed relief to farmers after a multi-year drought.
I want to emphasize a few points because it's important to note that in some ways, the rain, the precipitation is welcome. We just pulled out of a 60-month drought that cost our nation $26 billion. And for the first time since 2022, there is no drought.
Reynolds says infrastructure projects have improved La Crosse's ability to respond to major weather events in recent years. He also pointed out, again, those heavy rains are bringing that relief to our farming community.
Research shows more than 80% of people with autism and 90% of those with Down syndrome never learned to ride a two-wheel bike. I Can Bike is pedaling for change. This morning, the organization rolled into Winona Area High School for a special bike camp. They're teaching differently abled people, ages 8 and up, how to ride bicycles independently. The week-long camp will help people with disabilities gain a new sense of freedom and accomplishment and fun. Through biking, the camp's hosts say the kids are already making progress.
We just ended the first session and we've got a rider that did 11 laps on the track independently. So she's going, and she started the week very hesitant, very timid, and the confidence that she has gained is something that I can't even describe.
10 area kids are participating in the program, and the goal is for everybody to be able to bike around the track on their own at the end of the week.
Such a great program.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the summer staple is back at Maple Grove venues in West Salem.
News 8 Now's Michael Germain joins us live for a look at day one of Country Boom. Michael.
Emily, that's right. As you can see directly behind me, we kind of got people starting to walk in as the gates just opened here at 5, and there's going to be a bunch of performers here tonight on the main stage, starting with Taylor Holder and ending with Nelly at 10 p.m. Now, I kind of want to show you a little bit of the landscape that we have here in West Salem. We have this whole area right here designated to beverages, and if we kind of turn this way a little bit, we have a Ferris wheel. I know not really much to show here. It's not even on, actually, but here is the main event. Here's the stage where we're going to have everyone performing throughout the 3-day weekend. So first it was Riverfest in La Crosse. Now it's Country Boom here in West Salem. And what better way to spend your 3 days under the sun in beautiful weather? Like I said, kicked off today, running all the way until Saturday. Ken and Emily, I want to send it back to you.
Michael, you are our festival correspondent, doing a great job out there and looking nice and cool also.
Cold drink of water, perhaps?
Oh, cool drink
like
of water.
yesterday?
He's got to get it, yes.
Yeah, Country Boom since 2018 in West Salem. Excellent event. Well, Aquinas High School students are putting their green thumbs to use, helping grow and harvest food for people in need. Members of the school's Impact Club are getting their hands dirty at the Kane Street Community Garden today. Impact is a student-led community service organization that volunteers at the garden a few times a year. Today they are celebrating 30 years of service. Impact helps plant and harvest vegetables each season and then distributes them to people in need. One Aquinas senior says it feels good to know that their work is making a difference.
It just feels great to be able to know that what I'm doing gets to help other people, make their lives easier, even just a little bit.
Impact also delivers meals to the homebound through the Elderly Nutrition Program of La Crosse County. So far, they have delivered over 30,000 meals and served well over 100,000 hours of community service.
Mayo opens a sports medicine facility at UW-Eau Claire.
After the break, why the center's head says it will benefit the entire community.
Would you hire a barber who's never cut hair before? So why send someone to Congress who's never held public office and never passed a single bill? I'm Katrina Shankland. I approve this message because we need an experienced congresswoman. Right, Jed?
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you quality pet supplies because we get you. Right now, during our summer pet care sale, shop unbeatable deals on your pet's favorite food and supplies to keep them happy and healthy. Like a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you spend $60 on Blue Buffalo dog food and treats. These large bags of AgriMaster poultry feed, just $11.99 for rewards members. Plus, make animal prescriptions simple. Visit BlainesRx.com to get started.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. It's Hy-Vee's Big Beverage Sale this Friday through Sunday. Stock up on 6-pack bottles of Coke products, just $3.99 each when you buy 3. 24-pack Pepsi products, just $9.99. Stay hydrated with Gatorade 8-packs, just $5.48. Fuel your workouts or your work week with Monster, NOS, Full Throttle, or Alani Nu energy drinks, 3 for $5. Plus, save on Red Bull, Celsius, and more. Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
Every day we battle illegal drugs coming into our community.
And we know the attacks on Tammy Baldwin are not true.
Tammy's working with law enforcement to stop the flow of fentanyl.
She brought Democrats and Republicans together
to crack down on drugs coming from China and Mexico,
giving us more tools to fight drug smugglers.
And Tammy voted 32 times to strengthen the border.
Don't believe the attacks.
It's Tammy Baldwin I trust to keep Wisconsin safe.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Our democracy is under attack by right-wing extremism. In Congress, I'll have the experience to fight back and strengthen voter rights to uphold the will of the people. I'm Katrina Shankland. I approve this message because democracy is worth defending.
Welcome back, everyone. A quick update for those of you who may be just joining us. We are standing by any moment now to take you live to Washington, D.C., where President Biden is preparing to make a press conference to officially conclude the NATO summit that has been going all week long in Washington, D.C. We will bring you word and take you live as soon as we get word from our network affiliates that the press conference is ready to go.
Okay, well, back here in our region, building collaboration between UW-Eau Claire and Mayo Clinic Health System. That's the aim of Mayo's Diagnostic Imaging and Sports Medicine Center in Eau Claire. The new facility officially opened for business this afternoon with a ribbon-cutting ceremony and tour. According to the chair of Mayo's Eau Claire Sports Medicine Division, the center will work hand-in-hand with UW-Eau Claire students. She says that collaboration will benefit the entire community.
We do work with the students, not only educating, but we'll be doing some research projects with them as well. So the whole collaboration is just very gratifying, and I see how it can benefit not just athletes, but the community at whole.
The Diagnostic Imaging and Sports Medicine Center is attached to UW-Eau Claire's Sonatag Fieldhouse. It provides care for active adults throughout the Chippewa Valley.
Well, it's the start of a new era for the Eau Claire County Humane Association. The animal welfare nonprofit held a ribbon-cutting ceremony this afternoon to open its new state-of-the-art shelter. It features comfortable double-sided dog kennels, a high-tech veterinary suite, and 15,000 square feet of overall space. Last year, the Eau Claire Humane Society sheltered over 1,300 animals and reunited 234 lost pets with their owners.
Most importantly, we wanted to build a facility that was a better temporary home for the animals when they're in our care. So we really focused on better ventilation systems, more natural light, bigger spaces, so that while the animals are here waiting to be adopted, it feels a little bit more like home.
And last year, that Humane Society again sheltering over 1,300 animals. To learn more about donations, you can visit the Humane Association's website, and of course, we have that linked on our digital platforms.
Well, a deer sighting at Riverside Park.
What the state DNR wants you to know about encounters like this one.
And we're going to have a little bit above average temperatures for Friday, but then this weekend we're definitely going to have some hot and especially some humid conditions going along with it. We might even see some thunderstorms too. So we'll time out the storms, tell you how hot it's going to get, and when we all actually cool back down. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Dear unbreakable spirit, you roam on paths called impossible. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, get 2.99% APR for 60 months on a new 2024 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
It's the annual Crazy Days sale at Wesco and Sparta. We've gone completely crazy. It's total pricing pandemonium on our showroom because we've taken some of the craziest price cuts in our history. Find a new selection of home furnishings, furniture, appliances, flooring, plus flooring samples, one-of-a-kinds, discontinued items, and slightly blemished goods, all selling at near cost, at cost, even below cost. Hurry! At these crazy low prices, they won't last long. If you're crazy about saving money, hurry into the Crazy Days sale at Wesco and Sparta.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO. Find comfort in your world in a stressless recliner. Take a time out, have a seat, and enjoy a special offer from Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Save in an instant on stressless furniture at Drury's in Fountain. Right now, get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 you spend on any qualifying stressless recliner, sofa, or sectional, designed with the world's most innovative comfort features. Don't wait. It's time for Stressless. On sale now at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, plus save up to $1,050.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
Dear unbreakable spirit, you roam on paths called impossible. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, get 2.99% APR for 60 months on a new 2024 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Just a quick update. We are currently standing by for coverage of President Joe Biden's press conference, so please be aware that it may interfere with our broadcast at any time. In the meantime, oh dear, a doe sighting at Riverside Park earlier this afternoon. The furry straggler was stag on its walk through the park and by the river, and although a cute spectacle, encountering stray deer should come with some precaution.
That's right. The Wisconsin DNR advises us all to leave them alone and to not feed them. This goes for other types of wildlife you may wander into public places as well. They say to keep your distance and remember they are more afraid of humans than we are of them.
Yeah, I saw some in the neighborhoods on my run a couple of days ago, and he was just going through the yards and all
just chilling,
just minding his own business, enjoying this lovely sunny weather that we're having, Greg. Little warm, and it's expected to get even warmer this weekend.
Yeah, we've had some few clouds. Pretty much as you look over all the big picture, we've had this swirl going on pretty much for the last couple days to provide some cloud cover, afternoon cloud cover and a shower. It's going to begin to exit, and this big circulation over here, that's where the heat dome that's been pretty much present over the western U.S. is going to begin to expand our direction for just a little bit too. So overall, all this stuff up to the north eventually also will come down. So we got some factors to play in for a little bit of a complicated but more typical July forecast that we see. And really the temperatures this weekend, we're going to see upper 80s to mid 90s. Heat index values, especially coming into Sunday, could approach 100. The big problem with all this is really the cloud cover. If we got any thunderstorms and debris cloud, we call it, left over, that could keep the temperatures down. So it's a little bit of tricky on that. Speaking of the thunderstorms, we are going to see some. It's just when and where. It's just too early to say in this type of pattern. If we do get any, the severe potential is definitely there for damaging winds. Most of the period, however, will be dry. It's just trying to time out these storms, which a lot of them occur late at night, early morning. But for tonight, we're not expecting any of that. We're just looking at mid 60s for most locations. Low 60s to the north, maybe some upper 50s. Patchy fog, once again, the more favorable locations. Big picture shows you here's a little bit of that fog, kind of low clouds sticking around for your morning. Otherwise, you just got to keep note of all these little waves of precipitation, thunderstorm complexes that'll begin to go into the area as we go into the weekend. Overall, as you go through Friday, should be fairly quiet, but then here comes the first one Friday night. That'll probably dissipate dissipate as it dives quickly southeast. With that structure, you get some of those damaging winds, kind of like a squall line type feature coming through. We have more potential for Saturday. It kind of comes across, develops once again, probably east of the area. And then downstream, we got more coming through Saturday night into Sunday morning. Another one potentially could provide thunderstorms to the area. It'll likely dissipate sometime late morning, but you could see more development Sunday afternoon. That's a possibility. And there could be more going on as we go through Sunday night into Monday. So the severe potential, at least for the first round, Saturday night, is a slight risk. And this is because some of it may survive coming Saturday morning. And then the question is, do we get any redevelopment in the afternoon? That could be east of the area. So damaging wind is the main threat with that. Obviously flooding too, we could see that this time of year. The wind threat is probably the highest. There's your severe threat for now. The next day, once again, a big question mark is where it's going to form. That'll continue on for another day into Monday, sliding a little bit south because we do have a front, a cold front with cooler air that will begin to approach. So there's a lot of question marks, but this is very typical of July to see these conditions, but we will have to keep an eye as we go throughout along with the heat. One thing we're confident in is the dew point is heading up. It's going to get muggy, oppressive, 70-degree dew points, so that will provide for the heat index. As you notice going down, we're going to quickly go back. So for tomorrow, a little bit warmer than we've had today, but overall still very pleasant, what we should be seeing this time of year. 80s pretty much throughout the whole type of all the zones, all the way to the north as we go throughout the time frame. As we go to this weekend, the 90s are really in store. The showers and thunderstorm chances come back into play, and that'll continue through Monday. The good news is we cool right back down for the middle of next week.
How about that Sunday, though? I've never seen the Triple H.
Well, you know,
hot, hazy, and humid.
Hot, humid.
Yes, but the problem is if we get cloud cover, that could really change everything, too. So there's a lot of question marks.
A good point. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Brewers were looking for a rubber match victory against the Pirates and that young ace Paul Skeens. Plus, there will be a new face leading the charge for U.S. men's soccer. Jacobs up next.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
It's a lot quieter around here than it used to be. I'm Rebecca Cook. When I was growing up, this farm was bustling. Holsteins, hired hands, harvesting crops. But big corporations put family farms like mine out of business. And what has Derek Van Orden done? Nothing. Tax cuts for big ag, rising healthcare costs, undermining our democracy, extremism. We need real working people in Washington. And that's why I approve this message.
Isn't it time you turn your backyard into the oasis you've always wanted? Come to La Crosse Fireplace Company and find your outdoor setup. Imagine gathering with family and friends around your wood-fired pizza oven. Sit back and relax around your new fire table. Available in different sizes and styles to fit your lifestyle and budget. Stop in this month and receive 15% off all in-stock outdoor products. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is outside by the fire.
Air conditioning stopped working? Tired of finding ways to stay cool? Don't sweat it. Give G&T Heating and Air Conditioning a call. They'll have you feeling cool as a cucumber without having to resort to, well, alternative methods.
Call G&T for the best heating and air conditioning guaranteed.
When it comes to your business, off is not an option. Off means time and money lost. To move forward and grow, you need to be on time, on budget, so you can come out on top. Batteries Plus has the national scale to fulfill all your battery and power needs and a dedicated expert for the local support you want. Power on with Batteries Plus Business. Visit one of our 700+ stores today.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
Well, there was a lot of chatter about the rookie phenom Paul Skeens entering today's Brewers game. It was the first time he was set to pitch against Milwaukee, and boy, he did not disappoint. Already an all-star with just 10 starts under his belt, and if anyone was wondering if he was actually worthy of that, he did prove it today. There he paints the black with 100 miles per hour. Adames caught looking, then Blake Perkins takes his swing at it. He can't make contact. Pirates fans were happy they made the trip today. And then coming up here in the 7th inning, Willie Adames looking for the first hit against Skeens. And it's a great play out there in center field to keep Milwaukee hitless. And this would be the last batter coming up here that Skeens would face today. Not many highlights for the Brewers to show today, as Skeens gets the ground out, punches out 11, doesn't give up a hit. Pirates use a Yasmani Grandal double in the 7th to squeak past the Brewers in a pitcher's duel. Loggers with a doubleheader today, and they fell in the opener in Rochester. Lacrosse played at 3 in the top of the 1st thanks to a Derek Mitchell homer, but the Honkers took back the lead in the 2nd and blew it open in the 7th. Game 2 starts in about 10-15 minutes. A candlelight vigil took place last night at the University of Oregon's football stadium to remember the life of Kyrie Jackson. Now, Jackson was one of the 3 people killed last Saturday in a car crash in Maryland. The 24-year-old cornerback was just drafted by the Minnesota Vikings and played with the Ducks his last season of college football. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell released a statement saying, quote, "My heart goes out to Kyrie's family, friends, teammates, and coaches." Investigators say alcohol may have been a contributing factor in the crash, and Kyrie and his teammates Isaiah Hazel and Anthony Litton Jr. all played at Dr. Henry A. Wise Junior High School in Maryland. And after the United States failed to get past the group stage of the Copa America, Greg Berhalter has been relieved of his duties as head coach. Now, this news came yesterday. He was 44, 17, and 13 in 74 matches as the men's national team head coach, and the search for the next man in charge is underway. So a lot of sports content yesterday. So I couldn't fit in yesterday, but I had to mention it today. Ken, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's needed. Because the only top 25 FIFA-ranked team that the U.S. has been able to beat under that coach was Mexico, which is great for the rivalry, but not to put America on a championship-level world stage. And
we're hosting
the World Cup in 2 years,
Gotta
so
make a change.
Got to get better and fast.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Thank you, Jacob.
Okay, we'll have another look at your forecast right after this.